Okay, welcome back.
Let's go.
Campus Clubhouse Podcast. We're here for episode 2. If you guys listened last week, then you know that we're talking about the ACC and the Big 12 a little bit, a couple Group of 5 stuff, and then we'll make our picks for week 0. Little other news at the end that we'll get to when we get there. But if you're new, welcome. I'm Ethan, here with some of my teammates that I played college baseball with. We just like to talk college sports, so we're recording it. So we'll kind of just go ahead and jump right in. We'll talk about the ACC. We're all ACC fans here, so this should be interesting.
I'm not an ACC fan.
Well, not you, but you live here.
Wait, I just realized, Timmy, what jersey are you wearing tonight?
Yeah, Timmy, show off that jersey.
Number 11 on Alabama. Who could that be?
Henry Rhodes, baby.
Yeah.
Had to break it back out. So collecting some dust in the closet.
I think he would have been better suited at Georgia. Something about
That's too easy to. He might get parole or something sometime soon. I heard he might make a comeback. Saw it on Twitter.
No, I don't think he does. All right, Smitty, you got to get back on track, bro.
Okay. So we'll jump into the ACC. So, I'll let one of you go first. One of you talk about your schools first? That's how we'll start.
I say we start at the top.
Ethan, start first because
Smitty, we'll just let you go for the first 10 minutes.
We're just gonna disagree with 90% of what you say.
167 first place votes. The Clemson Tigers. Smitty, take it.
Yeah. So last year made the playoff, kind of humbled their way into the playoffs. I mean, they literally did not win probably a single impressive game, which is what is concerning for me this year as a fan. Beat SMU in a game that they almost blew, that we were all at, on a 57-yard field goal. That was sick, but
that was such a fun game.
Obviously lost to Texas in the playoff, kept it a little competitive, more competitive than any of the other playoff games, which probably just made it seem closer than it was. I mean, it was, I guess, a one-score game at some point in the fourth quarter, but really never got much closer than that. Obviously, the biggest issue is going 0-3 versus the SEC last year. Not good when you have 2 SEC teams on your schedule, and especially since, I mean, both of them are ranked in the top 15. So, I mean, it's going to be two hard games, one to start the year, one to finish the year, obviously with LSU at home, and then on the road to South Carolina in a rivalry game. But it's okay because, as Timmy said last week, the home team doesn't know how to win in that game. So, but looking ahead for this year, I mean, it's as promising as it's been since Trevor Lawrence was there. I mean, it's the roster, I mean, brings back 16 starters.
You act like Cade Klubnik is Jesus, dude. Let's slow down.
I mean the roster as a whole, not just from quarterback. The roster as a whole. I mean, this is the best group of receivers that we've brought back since that team. I mean, the receivers since then have taken a huge downfall. I mean, you had a team like that with T. Higgins, who's playing in the NFL, Hunter Renfrow, who had a couple good years in the NFL. I mean, there was good players on that team other than just Trevor Lawrence. I mean, Travis Etienne, who has had a decent career, sucked last year, but has had a decent career. Like, it was top to bottom. The roster is probably one of the most talented that we've had in the since we made our last run. And obviously it comes down to Cade. I mean, he was good last year, 36 touchdowns, 6 picks, 3,600 yards. Best game of the year was against Texas, which is promising. Throwing for over 300 yards and 3 touchdowns against a team that really hadn't given up much to the pass the whole year.
That's a really good secondary, and putting those numbers up against secondary is like going into this year. I mean, for me, it kind of says to me yeah, this guy is the truth. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah, and
all of your points are good points, but I have a fun fact that I found on, not a fun fact, but something I found on Twitter this morning. Fox College Football always it's the second year, but they tweeted the past 2 years 50 dynasty simulations in the video game. It's a video game. I know it's wrong, but I believe last year they had, through the 50 years, Cade Klubnik won the Heisman, or excuse me, this year they had Cade Klubnik winning the Heisman the most out of anybody, 8 15 times. Most out of anybody in the country through 50 years or 50 simulations. So I wanted to look back. I was like, maybe I wanted to see the votes from last year. So college football 25, they simulated 50 dynasty years, or that year 50 times. They had Will Howard winning it 8 times, number 1 in the country. Jalen Milroe winning it 7 times, second.
It's really face.
I'm an Oregon fan. Dylan Gabriel and Carson Beck 4 times. That's tied for 3rd. Travis Hunter's not there. Cam Ward's not there. Dylan Gabriel, he was the only guy in this. Here, I'll put it in the camera. Dylan Gabriel's the only person there that was in New York.
Randomly reading this off.
I saw it this morning and I was like, I feel like I'm going to have to bring this up. So, take all this with a grain of salt.
Too much in Dynasty.
Basically, the video game is basically saying that, Cade Klubnik's projected to be a top 8 pick. I saw that in a Madden Dynasty too as well. But he's gonna go like
we're basing this off video games.
Your information
is realistic.
Yeah.
Cade Klubnik's going in the 3rd round.
Back to real ball talk.
Okay.
I think kind of like the Ohio State discussion where like you have so much talent just like everywhere on your team. Like I think the defense is like going to hold you down. Like even if Cade doesn't play up to his standards or expectations, like you have pretty much your whole defense coming back. Your secondary is probably the best in the country, maybe behind Ohio State just because they have Caleb Downs. But like, your defense is going to be elite. And like, in my opinion, your schedule isn't hard enough for somebody. Like you don't play a team that's gonna go up and down the field on your defense all year, in my opinion, except for maybe South Carolina and LSU. But I think playing LSU first game of the year and at home is a huge advantage where your defense can stand tall. But I think this is the defense that leads this team to I think they have realistic national championship expectations, and I think it's the defense that's going to take them there, not necessarily Cade Klubnik.
If Timmy's Fox News Twitter Dynasty Heisman projection holds up, then that LSU Clemson game at the start of the year is going to be a battle of 2 Heisman candidates between Klubnik and Nussmeier.
So Garrett, I didn't save it, but Garrett Nussmeier, he was on the list too. I can have another fact when we get to conference champions that I can just throw it out there again, but
yeah,
we're not there yet.
Talking about the defense, which is probably I have probably more questions, not with the talent on the defensive side of the ball, but just like the scheme. We were horrible against the run last year. And then you go, like, obviously went out and got Tom Allen from Penn State, who is a solid defense. It was a huge get.
Yeah.
I'm happy that Dabo finally went and hired out of system and went and got somebody that could bring some energy in. And obviously the talent is there on the D line. You got 2 guys who were projected top 10 picks, and Peter Woods and TJ Parker, transfer from Purdue, who was really solid last year, Will Helt. Both linebackers are coming back, and Sammy Brown and Wade Woodaz. And then you have a 1st-round corner, most likely in Avion Terrell. So it's all of the talent is there. If the scheme can come back, there was tackling issues last year that were highlighted by that South Carolina game, not being able to get Lenore Sellers on the ground. But
can we talk about the elephant in the room when it comes to Clemson, though?
What?
The culture issue that I think we might have in the facility. The tight end room is just going out and getting DUIs now. Is that a cool thing to do in Clemson? There's like
the fourth string tight end.
Yeah, there's like 3 stoplights. We're just getting DUIs in Clemson now.
Yeah, the damn basketball
that might come back
player.
to bite them this season. Culture's failing. Get Dabo out of there.
They're just trying to be like Georgia, wins national championship.
Hey, yeah, we
needed.
Players are getting serious traffic violations.
You win natties.
Yeah, but I feel like when you got dudes with the names of Nitro Tuggle, you're allowed to get DUIs, not Ian Shefflin.
I think Smitty, are you good on Clemson?
Yeah,
feels out?
They're the most talented roster in the conference for sure. It's just a matter of.
They should 100% win the conference. If they don't win the conference, I feel like. I'm not a Clemson fan. Letdown, correct?
Giant letdown. I feel like conference is like a minimum.
Yeah. I think
I see 12-0 potential. Probably, I think the floor is 9-3, losing if they lose the 2 games to the SEC and maybe drop one at Georgia Tech or at Louisville. I mean, those are really in conference the only tests. Is those two on the road.
Georgia Tech game is the conference test of the year because you're on the road for me at least,
and it's early.
Yeah, but
I think just moving on. Next highest odds to win the ACC is Miami. If I'm going to start here, I think they have 0 shot to win this conference. If I'm being perfectly honest,
I mean,
I hate Carson Beck. I think he's terrible. Losing their best wide receiver in Xavier Restrepo, I think going from Cam Ward to Carson Beck is a tremendous drop off. Their whole team is basically out of the portal. Like, I don't think they're returning that much. Only 5 starters on defense are coming back. Like, I don't think they're going to be as good as they were last year and in playoff contention at all, personally.
Yeah. I kind of thought about them in Florida State in the same way and kind of used it the way I kind of thought about it is the way Florida State was between 2023 and 2024. So 2023 Florida State brings in all these transfers. You have Keon Coleman and what was that guy's the Johnny Wilson, the big giant wide receiver. Like you bring in all these transfers and they just mesh and it works perfectly and you have a really good year. And then unfortunately Jordan Travis got hurt and ended up kind of messing with their year, but they go 13-0, win the ACC, kind of everything worked out. Like that's probably the best way the transfer portal could work. You build a team that way and that happens. And then you also look back at last year and they bring in a veteran quarterback who we all know was not very good. And I know that personally, he was not very good, but, and you bring in all these transfers and you try to replace all these guys and it just did not work. And then you're horrible. And so like, that's kind of my story with Miami and Florida State this year is like, which way does it go? Are they going to bring in all these transfers and they're going to mesh together and it's going to work out good? And like Miami's schedule sets up like they could very easily win 9 or 10 games and get to the ACC championship.
They don't have a schedule at all.
The focal point for Miami this year is going to be Carson Beck and whether or not he can, 1, manage a game, and 2, manage a locker room. Because guys are going to look to him as a senior leader or an experienced leader to come out of the SEC and come to a conference that realistically is winnable for them and lead them to the promised land.
But
and
he's not. He sucks.
Like, personally, I'm agreeing with Brandon. I don't see it. The character of the guy, like I'm not putting his character into question, but there's a lot of stuff in the media that just doesn't make me believe in him as a leader in the locker room, in the clubhouse. So we'll see as the year goes on, but there's going to be some internal tests that they're going to have to get over to help them win on the field, I think.
Yeah, I think the season is decided in the first, 5 weeks, 4 weeks?
They got Notre Dame and Florida in the first 4 weeks. Like if you come out of those games and I mean maybe if you win both, like I think that changes the direction of their season completely, but I don't see them winning both those games, but I think the momentum they could get from 2 wins right there could propel them all the way to the ACC championship.
Because then in conference, like you're looking at Florida State, who's a team that's again a ton of portal guys, and then like you get at Virginia Tech, but then you get like I'm pretty sure the SMU game's at home, and then they play Pitt. Like they don't play Georgia Tech. I'm pretty sure they don't play Louisville. They avoid Duke. I mean, like they avoid Clemson. I mean, those are 4 big teams to avoid in a conference this year. Those are the teams that I'm kind of looking at to like lead it. I think SMU will be decent, but like I think the schedule sets up like if you somehow come out of that and you're 4-0 or whatever they would be at that time, like it sets up well for them to make a run.
Yeah,
we'll see.
If they come out and they beat Notre Dame and Florida.
Yeah,
if they beat them, they put the world on notice.
Yeah, I would be more impressed by the Florida game because I trust Florida a little bit more. I love Marcus Freeman, and we'll talk about Notre Dame in a little bit because I know they don't technically fall into a conference, so I kind of put them at the end of this. But I trust Marcus Freeman, but like they lost a lot, and like they're bringing like the running back is obviously incredible. Jeremiah Love is awesome, but like I think Riley Leonard is a big loss for them. and I trust Marcus Freeman, but like that's another team that's like they kind of got to get their feet under them as well. So that's kind of a game that like I could see that game going either way, just because I don't know how much I trust Notre Dame yet. But like Florida, obviously we know they got DJ Lagway, like he's gonna be good. And they get those games at home, which I mean helps. Like it helps them, but it's also like Miami is not really a home field advantage. Like it's
Hard Rock doesn't really do it.
It's just more. It just more helps that it's not a road game. Like that's more what it is. But
we just got to see if they match.
That is a match. I mean, we can talk about it a little bit, but Miami having to play their home games at Hard Rock and their fans not really showing out is ridiculous to me.
Yeah, because it's
such a storied program.
Off campus.
Yeah, it's off campus. They're not. I don't know. Do they provide? I'm assuming they provide some sort of student transportation, but I can't imagine that it's
a hike. I know it's a hike. So
yeah, I mean, I know that if they're not big games, they never are close to selling that. But we can move off Miami.
But you go to Hard Rock when you
go ahead. Talk about Duke.
About Duke?
I'll let you talk about Duke
already.
Yeah, I mean, I think Manny Diaz especially, like I know last year, first year, people are going to say that's a big year. I think if he sustains success this year, I think Duke becomes like for the first time in like a good while, they will sustain their success. I think he has done an incredible job of building their roster. The situation with Malik Murphy was a little iffy. I will throw that out there. I don't think he handled that one amazing, but he did get Darian Mensah, and that guy can ball. He's really, really good. Threw for 65% last year, 2,700 plus yards, 22 touchdowns. He had 200 yards on the ground too, but he didn't run that much at Tulane. It wasn't really in their offense. I think his legs will be way more important at Duke. But yeah, I think him on the offensive side of the ball, I'm interested to see how that scheme plays out. I think they'll do less RPO, kind of let him just sling the rock a little bit. I think he's a little bit better than Malik Murphy and kind of like the intermediate passing game. So I think that would be interesting to see how they change that. But I think for Manny Diaz, especially him being a defensive coach, the defensive side of the ball is kind of where they're going to make their money, just like they did last year. They were top of the league in sacks and tackles for loss last year, and I think they'll do that again. But their secondary is by far the best part of their defense. I mean, Chandler Rivers is probably the best corner in college football. Maybe I would throw him up there on the top of that conversation. And then him and Trey Moore in the secondary are just huge to shut the other team out. But I think this is the year. I really think that Duke is going to have I think this is the year. I think they maybe win 10 games, maybe make it to the ACC championship game. If they don't this year, I don't think they're going to have a better roster in a long time. The way that it's hard to recruit there and everything.
I think the key for Duke is the quarterback. I mean, I think I try kind of the same thing. Like Manny Diaz is a defensive guy. He's had good defenses everywhere he's been. The quarterback is big, and just kind of they got a huge game, obviously, at Clemson.
At Clemson, Illinois, and at Tulane are probably their biggest games. Tulane, honestly, talent-wise, isn't a big game, but just the Darian Mensah storyline there going back. Yeah. But, yeah, for sure. I mean, Illinois at home is a massive game. I really hope.
They just freeze.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
Well,
we're back.
Oh, there we go.
We're back.
Okay.
But yeah, the Clemson game is obviously the huge one. I'll be honest, probably won't pull that one out. But other than that, I think
it's tough on the road.
Yeah, I think every game on their schedule, other than that Clemson game, is winnable.
Oh no, I agree. I think.
Yeah.
I agree. I think most of their schedule is winnable. The one thing I kind of looking at that just with the ACC this year and with the schedules that a lot of these teams are playing is what Miami does. Like that's like because it's just going to be like I feel like the odds of it happening like it did last year, where it's just such a close race and like the tiebreakers come into play of who makes the ACC championship. Like there's a good chance Miami doesn't really have a tough conference schedule.
Yeah.
Like they don't play Louisville, Georgia Tech, or Clemson, who are like three teams that are going to be pretty solid, and they don't play Duke. Yep. So like it kind of puts it like if Duke does drop that game to Clemson, like in Miami goes 8-0, like I feel like that's just dumb. I hate that's the one thing that I don't like about not having divisions anymore in conference is because like you obviously can't play everybody, and I understand that. But it just hurts a team like Duke, who just like for whatever, like this year just got a little bit of a tougher schedule.
Yeah.
Where like you lose one game in conference and you're out of it. Like I don't like that.
Yeah.
Who knows? I mean, it's
last things for me with Duke before we probably go to Ben and Carolina is I think one, the running game has to be better. Star Thomas left, which was kind of the big blow for the backfield. But Jaquez Moore, apparently from all reports from camp, is like fully healthy, which would be huge because they need to run the ball better. And their offensive line is all back except for one guy who got drafted. So I think that's going to be huge if they can get that going. I also think Darian Mensa's legs will open that up. I also think the experience last year of like having success last year, which I mean, they had the year before with Elko, but like I think having success and like having that experience is definitely going to be very important to them, especially with that Illinois game earlier and other games. But yeah, that's pretty much.
That'd make me so happy for them to beat Illinois. Screw the Big Ten.
I think we will. I think we got it. But yeah,
dude. All right, yeah.
What the Big Ten do to you?
I just don't. I think we talked about it a little last week.
Other than rape the ACC every year.
Well, they don't really, to be honest. But
we want to pass the national championships,
not over ACC teams. But
dude,
I think that the Big Ten is just really top heavy, and I think people think the Big Ten from top to bottom is better than it is.
Oregon's on the top.
No. I mean, the bottom of it sucks. Like my high school team could probably go compete with them, but the top of it is like.
I think it's top heavy. I'm not.
He's full of white dudes from Charlotte, though. They're not competing with anybody in the Big Ten.
They had a couple guys. Couple athletes.
We had one guy. If I know what you're referring to, we had one.
All right, let's.
Okay.
He's got a baby mama
North
now.
Carolina.
Yeah, let's go. Let's get.
We'll go to Carolina. Obviously, probably one of the biggest storylines in the ACC in the country with Mr. Bill Belichick stepping on campus, running the show. Brandon's shaking his head. Brandon's a big Boston guy, big Patriots fan, and it pains him to have the greatest NFL coach of all time come to.
Good point there. He might have just won me over.
Well, come to a small little school in Chapel Hill, North Carolina.
Small.
Yeah.
40,000.
UNC, dude.
Sorry, no. I'm just trying to set up the storyline so that the people know this is an underdog story this year. It's not a big name thing.
True.
Now, realistically, this is going to be a tough year to watch because there's a lot of hype around this team with Bill being there, with the NFL system being put in place, with the hiring of a general manager, with all the new NIL money getting pumped out, with all the stuff that they're pouring into this program and trying to make it a big thing. This year is going to have some growing pains, 100%. Brand new roster, something like 70 new guys coming in. It's an absolute shit show with I won't say it's a shit show with the practices because the practices are going to be run fine. It's Bill doing his thing. But like with the roster turnover, it's insane. And for me, you can't expect a program like UNC to have success the year after you turn a roster over like that because it's not an established football program yet. The fans realistically just don't show out to games most times. Kenan Stadium might say it's sold out. It ain't sold out. It's never sold out. A lot of old people buy seats and they don't put butts in them. That's just the fact of the matter with the North Carolina fan base right now.
Just a basketball school.
They don't show
baseball school. Baseball school.
They don't show up to the Dean Dome a lot. I'll be honest. There's a lot.
If you put Elijah Davis on the court, that place is going to be
that place is
the line through the door.
Baby.
That thing is going to be going back to Franklin Street. I mean, it's
they're tearing down the net if Elijah gets in.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like UNC's not going to be anything special this year, but like in the next few years they'll be fun. I mean, what the quarterback, I don't remember his name, but it does not pass. His name does not pass the name test. He's not a quarterback.
Gio Lopez.
He's not a quarterback. Like, I mean, they'll find somebody else.
What do you think?
They'll pick up someone from Sup Dogs week 3, some white dude. Like,
well, the issue is that a couple weeks ago, rumors started coming out that Gio Lopez was named the starter. As of Wednesday, Bill has said that he hasn't named a starter. So there's inconsistency amongst reports as to whether or not there's an actual starter named and whether or not it's Gio Lopez. Right now, I think Gio is the name getting thrown around the most within the locker room as a starter for week 1 against TCU. But Bryce Baker is going to play at some point, 100%. I don't know if it'll be earlier in the season just because he's a high school kid. He's freshman coming in, 4-star, super good in the pocket. This is number 7 pocket quarterback in the country, pro-style quarterback in the country, something like that. But he's an athlete. He's tall. He's like 6'3", 6'4", I think. He can do his thing. He can sling the rock. Very good decision-making is what the report is. And then obviously Max Johnson is still sticking around. Unfortunate injury at the start of last season, broke his leg against Minnesota in the opener. Didn't get to play the rest of the year. Said, fuck that, I'm coming back to UNC. He's on a comeback player of the year watch list. We'll see if he gets his opportunity to actually play. But with Lopez having established time out South Alabama, had a decent year last year, did his thing. Obviously a good athlete, throws the ball well on the run. Kind of unconventional. Yeah, he's a lefty, unconventional. Like well, Max Johnson's a lefty too.
Well, he sucks.
Bryce,
he's terrible.
We'll see what happens, but those 3 guys, I mean, I think you'll see all 3 of them at some point this year, which is concerning as a fan to not go into the season having your guy at your premier position, but kind of fits with the roster turnover and with Bill. I feel like Bill coming to college, it's less about the player and more about the system, which I'm fine with as a fan. But if we're going to do that, we got to go 100% in on it. And if we're going to give out NIL, we got to give out boatloads of NIL to specific people that we know aren't going to come off the field. And I don't know exactly how that money's being shifted around. But if we're shilling out like a couple mil to Max Johnson, we got issues because we did it with basketball and we gave Cade Tyson $600,000 and we didn't have no business giving Cade Tyson $600,000.
Maybe one of the worst contracts in sports.
And
that's not talked about enough.
We talked about this last year. There's a dude on my Division III baseball team that can shoot the rock better than he can. And
Trent Judd is better than Cade Tyson. Sorry, Trent. I'm sorry, Trent.
Shout out.
Sorry, Trent. My goodness. Yeah, Cade Tyson just could not find the bottom of the net last year. It was brutal to watch. Chucked up a ball off the backboard against Duke. Made me want to run through a wall.
I think they're going to be terrible. As much as I hate to say it, because I do love Bill Belichick being a Patriots fan, they're going to be terrible.
I think it just feels like Colorado for me. Like it feels like Colorado.
I think this could be what people thought Colorado was going to be. Like, I feel like Colorado was like a Hollywood story. Obviously, Dan Lanning had that one quote that fired me up. I wanted to run through a wall. But like they're playing for clicks, we're playing for wins or something. I feel like, Bill Belichick's preaching, or not preaching, but like his message is, we're going to get you ready for the NFL. Whereas I don't really know what was going on at Colorado, but like if it wasn't for NIL, just take NIL out of the picture. If there's a coach in college football saying like I'm a 6-time Super Bowl champion coach, I will get you ready to play for the NFL, I would literally sign my letter of intent right there. Like that's all I would have to hear. So and we'll see how it plays out with NIL, but like that's the perfect pitch.
You can see that with some of the recruits that we're starting to get for our incoming class as well. We just picked up a 4-star athlete, like top 100 or something like that.
I mean, they're flipping some decent prospects.
I just think it's a year away. That's the other reason I think it's Colorado.
It's at least 2.
I think it's 2 to 3 at minimum, 100%. I think
Bryce Baker's really good.
Bryce Baker, I think he will be very good. I just don't know if he's going to have the weapons around him this year to make anything happen. I think they have a shot because they've got dudes coming in over the next couple of years that are going to be legit. And in true Bill Belichick fashion, we've already got at least 2 commits that both play lacrosse as well. So 2 sport athletes coming in from like New York.
You're about to have your own Chris Hogan.
Pretty much, yeah.
Like, say that
probably will be better, to be honest, because they're in Carolina blue.
How many Super Bowls do those losers have? Not as many as Chris Hogan.
They're gonna have a natty in 2 years. Just
Chris
wait.
Hogan, Panthers. Okay. Chris Hogan, Panthers legend.
Okay, I think that's enough for North Carolina.
If we're talking about them winning championships, it's over.
Yeah, it's over.
Yeah, it's over. Florida State. That's where I think I was going to go next.
They suck, dude. They're a joke. Did you see Thomas Castellanos was standing next to Terrell Pryor, and Terrell Pryor's
like a midget,
6'2", and he's like a head taller than him. Get out of here, dude.
I just think it's crazy all the quotes he's been saying about like them playing. Like them gonna beat Bama and like all this stuff. Like it's again like the same story that I said for Miami. I think it's just like you've seen both sides of the spectrum with Florida State of them getting all these transfers and it working and them being really good and getting all these transfers and it not working and them winning 2 games. And I think this team feels more like the 2-game team, the 2-win team more than the other one.
For some reason to me, and I'm sure we'll hit on like kind of all these teams, but Florida State, Louisville, Georgia Tech, and SMU, for some reason, those 4 teams, all very different, kind of are just like in the same category for me in the ACC. Like I could see like they all have the potential of like maybe being that second team with Clemson in the ACC championship, but I could also see them like just shitting the bed.
Yeah, and winning 6 games. Yeah,
like those 4 teams to me all have a chance to be that second team. I just don't think that any of them will, except for I like SMU still kind of, but I just don't think Florida State will do it. I don't really like Mike Norvell. I don't think he's a good enough coach to take transfers this quickly and like turn them into a success. I just don't.
I saw some stat that's like, in games where Jordan Travis was playing quarterback for Mike Norvell, he like has like a really good record.
Yeah.
And then in every other game where he hasn't had Jordan Travis, he's like it's like absurdly bad. It's like 3-10.
I mean, Bama, Florida, Clemson, Miami. Like those are 4. Like I don't see them winning any of those games except for maybe Miami, but like I don't give them a shot at any of the other 3.
I agree.
And I also just like, to me, Thomas Castellanos, like, yes, he was good at Boston College, right? Boston College last year.
Yeah.
Like, he's not going to be your guy to go win those big games, in my opinion, at all.
Yeah, and eight transfers on the offensive side of the football.
13 out of 22 starters were not at school last year. And probably more are going to, like, play. Like, it'll probably be, like, closer to, like, 50% of the guys that get good snaps are just not going to play.
I think the tone is going to get set week 1 against Bama. There's a very real chance that they get boat raced that game.
I think they will get boat raced. I think if they play a competitive game,
they lose by more than 14 points. I predict that.
Yes,
I'll go on record for that.
I will say though.
Did you already predict that, or are you going to predict that?
No. I just predict that. I just
okay.
Between you and me.
I will say though, Squirrel White, good pickup. I like that dude.
It's a cool name too. It's a fun name.
He's just nasty.
Quick little
nasty.
receiver.
He's nasty from Tennessee. But yeah, I don't think, and we can talk about the other three between Louisville, SMU, and Georgia Tech. I think SMU, I personally think, will be the best out of those 3 teams or 4 teams if you include Florida State. I think
I like Georgia Tech better, but I
like Kevin Jennings more than I like Haynes King, which I know is a hot take. But to me, SMU in simple terms, SMU went 11-3 last year, and Georgia Tech went 7-6. I think that's just I don't think it's a big enough fall off and a big enough upgrade for Georgia Tech, where Georgia Tech surpasses SMU.
Yeah, and that's obviously Haynes King is good, and he's going to be good and help that offense. They lose Eric Singleton, which is big. They're talking about he could be one of the best wide receivers in the SEC after transferring over to Auburn. But I'm kind of the same way about Georgia Tech. Is like they went 7-6 in this conference in last year, and they brought in some transfers, but I have some questions. I trust Haynes King, and I think I've kind of fallen a little bit of a victim to how they finished the year, with beating Miami, and then that game against Georgia that went to 1 million overtimes. That's
actually
probably
8 out of 1 million. But
well, sorry, yeah, that.
Yeah,
it kind of leaves a good taste in your mouth, looking ahead to next year when you're bringing your quarterback back and you have success at the end of the season. But I'm kind of agree with you, 7-6, that's a huge jump. I've seen predictions of them going 10-2.
I think that's absurd.
I think it's absurd.
10-2 is 100% their ceiling for me. They
play
Duke,
Clemson, and Georgia. There's no way they only have 2 losses playing those 3 teams. Plus, I'm sure they'll drop another game.
Well, and even I think opening up the year at Colorado with a bunch of transfers. I know Colorado lost obviously Travis Hunter and Shedeur Sanders, but I still think Colorado they have talent at the quarterback position.
Yeah. Well, they got that 5-star, and then they got what's his name from Liberty, who was decent, Caden Salter.
And then Julian Lewis is
they'll be good, I think.
I think they'll be solid, and they're a team that I think will be somewhat competitive in the Big 12. And I don't think that's just a look ahead game. I think they got to kind of go into that game, especially on the road, and be there's that Colorado team is going to bring a lot of hype just with who's coaching. Even after losing 2 players to the draft, obviously
I feel it's going to be a little more normal this year, a little less in your face, because obviously Shedeur and Travis Hunter were the biggest names ever. But
yeah,
I think that those 2 teams and Louisville are kind of just in the same tier. Going on to Louisville, I think if I had to rank those 3, I think I'd go SMU, then Louisville. Then I would put Georgia Tech below Louisville too. I think Miller Moss is a decent quarterback. I think they got some decent transfers Louisville did, but I think their defense is better than Georgia Tech's defense, which is why I put them above them. Just because of what they did last year, and they have a good amount of people coming back. So I think Louisville, of those group or a bunch of teams, is probably the best, their second best one. I think their schedule is hard. They play Clemson, Miami, SMU, 2 of the 3 on the road.
Yeah, I do think that the biggest thing is I think they obviously playing all 3 of those teams does not help, but getting Clemson at home in a Friday night game, for some reason those games always seem to be weird. That game as a Clemson fan worries me. Going on the road playing a Friday night game, that game by far worries me. Of the games in conference, worries me more.
I like Louisville's QB situation a lot right now. Miller Moss, to me,
he got benched at South.
To me, he got caught in the Lincoln Riley trap, right? It's just I'm not a big old fan of Lincoln Riley's system. I think
produced 3 Heisman winning quarterbacks. So
but
all 3 of those quarterbacks are top recruits. So
That's not true. One of them was Baker Mayfield.
Shut up.
I just don't.
They were never mind.
I just don't think the past 2 to 3 years it's been the same. Like Caleb Williams, like it wasn't the same. Like I get that Caleb Williams was a top draft pick
and won a Heisman.
But are we really going to sit here and
win anything.
Yeah, are we really going to sit here and act like USC was the shit?
Yeah, I mean they didn't win anything that year. I'm not saying they. I mean,
Miller Moss just didn't fit in Lincoln Riley's system. Like he wasn't what Lincoln Riley needed on offense to produce. But I think Miller Moss's skill set has the ability to win games. 100%.
No, I'm not saying he's not talented. Obviously, he beat LSU last year.
Miller Moss's skill set to me is better equipped for like a professional style of football than what Lincoln Riley plays.
Yeah. I mean, I think Lincoln Riley's offense for the most part is quarterback friendly. Obviously he's had some really good players, but I think it is quarterback friendly. I think I kind of agree with you. I don't think Miller Moss was kind of what he was looking for. Obviously the best offenses that he had at Oklahoma and at USC were with quarterbacks that were going to run a lot and be super mobile and throw on the run. And you see guys like Jalen Hurts and Caleb Williams, Kyler Murray, and even Baker Mayfield when he was in college ran a little bit. Like
Miller Moss is more of a game manager. Like
maybe that works. I mean, I don't think he's as good as Tyler Shough, even though obviously I don't know that. I just don't think he'll be as good.
Very similar.
I think he could operate better.
Yeah. I don't think he'll operate better. I think Tyler Shough when he was playing well was. I mean, Louisville's going to win games on the run with that
shoulder. Going to the East Coast, going to a different conference, he's got something to prove still. It's going to be an interesting year for the Cardinals.
Yeah, and I mean they're a talented team.
I'll say that if we get to the end of the year, Miller Moss is like a top 6 QB in the ACC.
Oh no! Okay.
Not in the country. He's like top 6 QB in the ACC.
Weird.
I'll say that that's a good year for him. I'll say that he proved some people wrong.
Yeah, I just Louisville was so up and down last year. Like it was like they would win games. Like they obviously won on the road at Clemson, and kind of handled Clemson. Really, I mean, it was not really a close game. And then they also lost games, they lost to Syracuse and it's just they got to find some level of consistency. Because you obviously even though the conference top to bottom is not great, they obviously play 3 of the top, I think what we agree to be 5 teams in the conference and 2 of them on the road. So it's just they got to find some level of consistency because the hype around Louisville right now that I've seen is real. I mean, I think they're expecting to win 9 games at the least. And that means
I'll say I'm happy they're not on Duke's schedule. I will say that.
Yeah, I don't like going into Papa John's Stadium on a Friday night. That doesn't really.
Do we want to before we get to the Big 12, do we want to just make ACC predictions now? Smitty, you're not. We'll just skip it, Smitty. Timmy, who do you think wins the ACC?
SMU.
Yeah.
Kevin Jennings, man, got something else.
Yeah, you watched him play that game at Penn State last year. It was so good.
Yeah, it was 6 degrees, dude. I mean, Tom Brady would have done the same thing.
I'm taking the Blue Devils.
Wow.
Yep.
I mean, all right. Can we just
Duke versus Clemson ACC?
Go to the Big 12.
That'll be awesome.
We're all gonna. It's gonna be.
We'll all be there.
It's gonna be Duke versus Clemson ACC championship. We're all gonna be there, and Duke's gonna win, and Smitty is going to be the most down bad he's ever been in his entire life. Smitty, I'll just mark you down for Clemson, and then we can turn it over to the Big
Ben's
12.
just not. Ben, are you going to pick North Carolina?
No, I
he
picked
said
Clemson.
He said
Yeah.
Clemson.
Okay.
Yeah. I like to be right.
Turn it over to
Could I have my fun fact?
Yeah.
Hit it.
Go.
Fox College Football, 50 Dynasty simulations, most Power 4 champions. They had Miami winning it 19 times.
What?
Well, you can write Miami off for that.
Proves that K Company.
I was about to say, that just proves my point from earlier that this is going to be very wrong. And When we finish the Big 12, I think this can be a funnier stat, but
Okay,
we'll get to that.
we'll go to the Big 12.
Talk about the big guys returning after a CFP appearance this past year.
Yeah, I mean, Arizona State is the top of that conference for me. I think it's like they're the best team in the conference. Then I think there's a small little gap, and then I think there's probably a group of 4 or 5 that are like right on their heels. And what I believe to be Arizona State, Texas Tech, Baylor, Iowa State, and then I think BYU will be solid. I think those are the teams that have a chance. I'm leaning away from BYU and Iowa State.
You can't lean away from Rocco Becht, man. That guy's a dog. Dog.
I mean, I think it's Arizona State. I think Kansas State will be really good, and then again, Texas Tech is like a similar conversation that we had with Florida State and Miami that you just have no idea because they threw so much money at that team.
I mean, yeah, I think if we're starting at the top, for me personally, and I mean, we'll do predictions at the end, but I'm just a massive believer in Kenny Dillingham, and I think Sam Leavitt is very, very good. I think Arizona State wins this conference. I think Arizona State at plus 600, which I can't and won't do, is very, very good prediction and value. I think that they are just I don't totally trust Avery Johnson, was just kind of partially the reason, but I just think that Arizona State, coming off what they did last year, they have so much momentum. Kenny Dillingham in the press is just going crazy left and right every week. It feels like I love that dude. I think he's a great players coach. I think that he does it again. I think they have a great year again. But I also understand that this conference is just totally up for grabs.
Yeah, I think just looking at the conference as a whole, to me, there's 3 teams that I'm really excited for that I think have that's not fair. There's a 4th, but I'm not going to mention them yet. There's 3 teams that I realistically think have a shot at winning the conference title. It's ASU, Kansas State, and Iowa State.
And 2 of them played.
And 2 of them play first week out in Dublin between Iowa State and Kansas State. Big week 0 matchup. It's going to be awesome for the sport. 2 teams that have nothing to do with Ireland. But we roll on for whatever reason. I'm sure plenty of people from the Midwest will make that trip.
I saw there's a pub in Ireland where they had flags for each, and you could tell that they clearly just looked up Iowa, put it in quotes, Iowa State flag. They had the Iowa State flag and Kansas State flag, where they had the state of Kansas flag. So they had one college and just one state, and I was like, "That's awesome."
That's awesome. Yeah,
that's like electric.
I'm not sure how the atmosphere will be over there, but for us sitting on the couch at home, it'll be fun. It's college football.
Yeah.
You can't beat it. I'll be sitting there watching potentially a Heisman candidate play quarterback for Kansas State. I think Avery Johnson is that talented. I think he'll have a really solid year, and I wouldn't be surprised if we get to week 10 and he's in the top 5 for Heisman votes at that point. So, I mean,
who's your pick for that game?
I believe I have Iowa State because you can't beat Rocco.
Yeah. I think we all have. We'll get to that later.
You can't beat Rocco Becht.
Kansas State except for Ben.
Yeah, it's fine. That's fine with me. I mean, the kid can have a really good game and still lose.
None of the defenses, in my opinion, are great. Obviously, it's the Big 12. I just don't think any offense is better than Sam Leavitt and Jordan Tyson.
Yeah.
So that's
I agree.
Arizona State.
I'm just interested to see how that offense is going to be without Scadaboo. I think he was he was like the heart and soul of that offense. He literally did everything. He was, in that playoff game, he was our leading receiver. He was our leading rusher. He threw a touchdown.
Just a hard-nosed, gritty kid. Bring your lunch to work every day. Put your head down. Weight room kind of guy. Locker room presence. Sneaky athletic.
It's like he's describing himself, bro.
He looks so happy describing.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't think I would let my daughter date Cam Scatterbo. I don't think so, dude.
With the way he runs the football, he's got to have just massive. Let me restart. With the way he runs the football, he has CTE. 100%.
I thought
I feel like
I
think he can.
I had
I
no
don't
idea
think
where
he-
he was going with that.
I get the vibe that he just can't.
He's got.
I don't think Cam Scatterbo can read. That's like I just don't think.
Do you think
Like,
they give him the playbook for the year? When the Giants gave
Yeah.
him the playbook for the year, do you think they just like only put like pictures down? They didn't even bother
It's just
putting
arrows.
like words. It's just
Yeah.
arrows. Like when they put a play call down, do you think like Jackson Dart's just in the huddle like, Cam, you're just running to the right?
dude, I got I have no. I think Cam Scatterbo was probably a cool dude, but I just can't imagine the conversations him and Jameis Winston have because Jameis Winston's probably speaking his saying whatever, and he's just like, "What? What did you say?" That's just how I envision it. Like
Yeah.
He looks like a
I can
caveman.
imagine Cam sitting there with his mouth open, just
yeah.
back to the Big 12. this
Dable's
year.
doing like a real
Oh my
in-depth meeting with the whole team. Cam's front row drooling.
Back to the Big 12 this year. I think the second biggest storyline behind Arizona State, in my opinion, is Texas Tech's just insane NIL. Having a billionaire alumni is obviously paying dividends in this
Patrick
era.
Mahomes is a billionaire.
College football, not. But I mean, it's worked in other areas of their athletics. I mean, the softball team is obviously took a huge step paying their girls some money, and it worked out. I don't think that they might have the talent and they might have the money. I don't think they can put it all together personally, at least in year one of this.
And
It's just, I feel like college
This is-
football as a whole that everybody's kind of seen, like continuity has been big, like for the teams that have ended up like being really successful. It's the like
They're old and they're experienced,
we kind of
in my opinion.
we didn't see it to this. We didn't see it to this extent with the NIL, but when NIL first started and Utah gave every single player a truck, and we were like, "Oh, is Utah going to be like nice this year because they're giving everybody like nice shit?" They were not nice that year. They were not nice. Is that going to be the same case with Texas Tech, or is more money getting thrown? So maybe they will be good.
I mean, I think it's just you never know with this era. I mean, you're going to see teams. I feel like until there's some sort of boundaries put on it, you're going to see teams that go out and pay all these guys, and it's just going to be such like a year-to-year thing. Like it's going to be like I've used Florida State an example like 6 times already, but it's just going to be like that. Like you're just never going to know what you're going to get until you see the product on the field. Like it could be a team that is on paper one of the most talented teams in the country, but like football's still a team sport, and you still got 11 guys. And like if your offensive line isn't working together well, if your quarterback isn't well connected with your receivers, if your defense isn't moving the way it's supposed to be moving, like you're going to end up getting like it's going to be very noticeable. So it's just a matter of like it, and it's just there's so much momentum. Like you don't know what happens in a locker room if all of a sudden a team that even if they're super talented, all of a sudden
They definitely
has
have,
all these high hopes and loses 2 games in a row to start the year. Like,
yeah. I mean, I also think like if that case scenario were to happen, because that team is not experienced, they don't have the camaraderie of being together for a year, 2 years, like playing with each other. Like I think locker rooms can break apart just way easier building a roster that way than they can from building with homegrown talent. Personally,
I think we can talk as much as we want about the Big 12 and who's going to win the conference. To me, this year with the Big 12, there's going to be a ton of fun games within the conference.
Yeah.
When we get to playoff time, kick it down the barrel. I don't think any of these teams are national championship caliber teams.
100% agree.
I agree.
It's going to be fun while it lasts. We're going to have some great close games, probably a lot of shootouts. And just when
Big
we
12
get
football.
Big 12 football to a T the whole year. It's going to be awesome entertainment. And then when we get to playoff time, somebody's probably going to get the shit kicked out of them.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I think outside of I think BYU is probably like that one team like that's not kind of like in that top 4, like kind of looking in most people's eyes. They were right outside of the AP poll, I believe. I think they were 26th.
Yeah.
And then snuck in the coaches poll at 25, I think is what happened.
And
but
the
I think
poll is giving them like a little bit of grace with how they finished the year last year.
Yeah.
But they don't deserve. To me, they don't deserve that 25 spot with how little they're returning.
They only bring back 9 people. Quarterbacks obviously
the whole
gone.
Retzlaff situation.
They do have a good coach. I do like that guy. I think he's pretty good. But I think their roster's significantly less talented. I think Retzlaff is pretty good. I don't think that they'll be able to replace him well enough to succeed like they did last year.
It's going to be an interesting year for BYU because I do think it's a regression year. I don't think they'll finish towards the top end of the conference, but I think there's going to be flashes throughout the year that are like, yeah, this is still like a legit football program. And then years to come, I think it's going to get real scary because I don't know if y'all know, but the Bear Bachmeyer kid is officially the week 1 starter. First time in the history of BYU that a true freshman, is starting at quarterback. Also, the first time that I'll ever see number 47 being worn by the man calling the plays. But it'll be fun. And I think getting that kid reps early in his career with a team that's not super talented might be very good for him come his sophomore and junior season.
Yeah.
So
I think the other one we need to talk about a little bit with the Big 12 is Colorado. Obviously they lose Shador and Travis Hunter.
They lose their whole their offense is just going to be completely revamped.
Jimmy Horn, LeJontay Webster, Travis Hunter, they're all gone. So
new guys across the board. But I think Coach Prime's culture that he's building there should be better. Legit. Prime's culture.
Yeah, and they
got Warren Sapp on the staff. He was there last year, but it's pretty cool.
I think that they keep improving. I
don't know that they win 9 games.
Want to be very good and compete for the Big 12 championship because I think that'd be good for college football as a whole. But I don't think they're quite there yet. But I think they're going to be way better than people expect. I see people having them winning 4 games.
No, I don't think they're that bad. I think they win.
I think they win
8.
That's what I was going to say. I think they win. They win 8.
There's still just one. I don't know what it is, but I feel like there's still just one piece missing with the whole Colorado pro. I feel like if they do one thing, they're right there. They just flip the script.
Just looking it up there. Random line of wins on the season, according to some random websites, is 5.5, and I think that's insane. If you could get 5.5 somewhere, I would take that projection in your mind. And store it away. But yeah, I think that they will definitely be better than people are giving them credit for. 100%.
I feel like last year they were pretty good. They got smoked at the Alamo Bowl, but
they won 9 games.
Towards the end of the year, they were ranked, and I feel like no one really talked about it. So
yeah. So I think the big thing with them is obviously the last 2 years has been the Travis Hunter and Shador Sanders show. And it's just obviously they're not going to have I think it almost could be good for them to not be working around as much. They'll still be media and everything because it's Deion Sanders, but maybe a little bit less media and a little bit less of just so much smoke being blown into that program. Maybe it'll just give them a chance to kind of build a team and build something kind of away from the media presence that those 2 guys were. So I think it'll be interesting to see. I think they'll be better than 5.5 games personally, especially in a conference that's just so splotchy top to bottom. I just think there's so many teams that have holes that could end up losing games. I think getting games at home is going to be huge. I'm actually think that the game that they play against Georgia Tech at home could be a little bit of a sleeper game. I think it's a very interesting out of conference matchup of 2 teams that I think are in the general scheme of things, in the same type of conversations. So I think it'll be interesting. I agree with what you said. I think with Deion being the coach, I think it'll be good for college football for them to be in the conversation.
My hope for the Big 12 is that over the next couple of years that yes, it's chaos right now. I hope some of that chaos like dies down a little bit, because I think the sport of college football is better when there's a consistent Big 12 team that's like really fucking good. Like Oklahoma making CFP is like.
I mean, you had Oklahoma, you had even like when Texas was over there. I mean, you just.
Yeah, no, that's a good point.
I want a powerhouse to establish themselves in the Big 12, because right now I feel like the rest of the college football kind of looks at them like a fucking joke when it gets to
and like the big games in that conference are looked at and they're just like, oh, it's just like a normal top 20 matchup that really, I mean, in the grand scheme of things,
it's not gonna affect anything.
It's like almost like not a game in that conference really matters to anybody that's not in that conference until the Big 12 championship, and that's just because you're deciding who's going to get the playoff.
We'll get down. We kind of did the same thing last year, and BYU kind of shot themselves in the foot at the end of last year with losing that game. But the Big 12 is going to get down to the end of the year. They're going to have 3 teams that have really, really good records, and one of them is going to make it in on the auto bid. And those other 2 are going to sit at like anywhere from 13 to 16. And they're going to sit there and like, oh, why the hell didn't we get in? It's like, you're playing the Big 12. Like,
can we go back to the end of the year and see if that's right? Clip it. Somebody clip it.
Oh, come back this year?
Yeah.
That's fine. Yeah. Clip that. I'll stand on business. I believe in that.
You ruined it.
You did ruin it.
I think that's really all I mean, I don't think anybody else in the Big 12 really has a shot. So
I think Baylor's like a sleeper in that conference.
I was just talking about picks. I'm getting tired of talking about the Big 12.
What? Yeah, what? Timmy, who you got winning the Big 12?
I mean, I feel like it's kind of like a cliche pick. I'm just gonna say Arizona State. I like Kenny Dillingham. Sam Levitt's fun, so I don't really care.
Okay. Smitty?
I also think it's Arizona State, but I think the team that they're going to play, who we actually didn't talk about a lot, is Baylor. I think Baylor's going to be sneaky good this year in that conference.
I like it.
Rocco Becht and the boys.
Oh
Iowa State, baby.
Bro.
Roll clones. Come on now.
3 Arizona States and 1 Iowa State. All right.
Do you guys want? All right. Time for the college football 26 projection, 50 dynasty simulations. Do you guys want to know the team or the amount of times they won first?
Give me the amount of times they won.
28 Big 12 champions or Big 12 championships.
Can we do guesses? State. Can we do guesses?
Go for it.
Texas Tech.
Texas Tech, 28 championships.
Let's go.
It's the most out of any team. Really I go through them. They got Texas Tech winning 28 championships, Penn State winning 19, Miami winning 19, and Georgia winning 11
championships for.
Okay.
Gotcha. Wow, the SEC's only got 11 from Georgia.
I feel like that's kind of fair, especially the way the game works. It's just like SEC teams are just cracked.
Yeah.
Before we get to the week 0 picks, we can hit on Notre Dame real quick and then throw in a couple group of 5. Yeah. Smitty, you got it.
Notre Dame, they bring back Jeremiah Love, crazy talented running back. Probably
that's their offense now.
That's their offense. He's probably a top
in a couple of
3 running back in the country. I mean, maybe the best running back in the country. I think there's a good chance that he's in New York at the end of the year for the Heisman ceremony. They lost Riley.
Cam Scatterbo usage. Yeah.
I really like Marcus Freeman. He's one of my favorite coaches, and I think it's kind of been a cool thing, at least for me personally, is for so long, like when they had Brian Kelly, I just hated Notre Dame. Like I just watched them every week and I just wanted them to lose. And I actually don't feel that way about Marcus Freeman. Like I like the way that he coaches, and I still don't like Notre Dame, but I like Marcus Freeman enough to the point where I don't feel the same way about them as I used to feel when Brian Kelly was there, where they were so hated. And it was like, if you weren't a Notre Dame fan, it was kind of like Bama or some of the other schools. If you weren't a fan of that team, you wanted them to lose. I didn't feel that way about Notre Dame, especially last year, like going into the playoff, I found myself kind of pulling for them. So I think that's been kind of cool. I like their chances, but their schedule is incredibly hard, as it always is for Notre Dame.
Would you say that Marcus Freeman is your favorite Notre Dame coach ever?
What? I mean, sure, yeah, probably.
That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. I'm going Cam Lane, Lucas Jones, then Marcus Freeman. So, I mean, dude,
wow,
that's a good list.
That is a great list.
That's a good list. I
forgot about Doff. I'm gonna throw Doff in at 3 in front of Marcus Freeman.
But
move Marcus Freeman down. Put Doff in there.
Yeah,
but yeah, I mean, I think Marcus.
Did you put that in order, by the way?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Marcus Freeman's last on my list.
I think their schedule does not bode well for a new quarterback being thrown in there. Also, just with Riley Leonard leaving, I think he's an ideal college quarterback. Just very smart, can control the game, can make good throws. And I don't know have they announced a starter between the two guys yet?
I don't think so.
Yeah, and
I thought they did.
I mean, we can check that real quick, but I don't think that their quarterback, with the schedule that they have to play, will do enough for them to be.
CJ Carr was named starter.
He is.
Okay.
Yeah, he was named starter 2 days ago.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't think that. I mean, either one of them who is named starter, I don't think that he can put them in the same position, and I don't think their entire team will be. I mean, their defense is losing in the secondary. The front will still be good. Their receivers are kind of in my opinion. They had that lacrosse player who played well in the second half of the game last year. They have Jaden Greathouse, who, I mean, he will have to have a good year for them. I think he'll be their wide receiver 1 and their wide receiver 2, but I just don't think that they can replace Riley Leonard and I think they need to with the schedule.
Yeah, I mean, you come off of such a great year, and then that's kind of the price that you pay for building a experienced deep lineup like that. Like, you get years like this where you're probably not gonna find yourself in the same situation come CFP time. You might get a little bit of grace from the committee if you end up 10-2.
Yeah,
but I 10-2.
I'm looking at their schedule, and it kind of falls decent for them for a Notre Dame schedule when you're just going to be playing so many Power 4 teams. I mean, they obviously go to Miami to open the year. I think that's a big game. With an experience, not like the road thing is going to be that big of a deal, I don't think, because it's at Miami. But like, you're facing a quarterback who's played a lot of football. Then you get Texas A&M at home. I'm not super high on Texas A&M. I think they're crazy talented, but obviously Notre Dame playing at home will help. And then they go to Arkansas.
Boise State is even a tough game.
And then, but I think it's that
USC,
but these games are all these games are all at home, which I think just helps them.
I definitely think the schedule is front loaded too. If they can get out of the front of their schedule well, or get off the gates good, I think it helps them. I mean, Pittsburgh at the end, Boston College at the end, Navy at the end, Syracuse at the end, Stanford. It's definitely top heavy. I think they lose that game at Arkansas. Just throwing that one out there.
I mean, the schedule is
it's a very realistic 0-2, and then scramble the rest of the year to try and go perfect. I think.
Yeah.
You can lose that.
I think they win one of those 2 games.
Lose that game at home against A&M. I agree. I think they do scrape out a win, but I don't think it's gonna be a pretty win in either one of those.
No, but I don't think it needs to be.
I think
No.
Marcus Freeman is good
It's
enough
just
to
about
win one of
building.
those
It's
games.
it's just about building momentum for the rest of the year. As long if they can get through those games 1-1 or 2-0, they set themselves up really easily to make another playoff. But I don't know if this roster has the ability to win like they did in the playoffs.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree. I kind of feel the same way. I saw the projection set at 10.5. That feels crazy high.
Yeah. If I had to predict anything, I think they'd probably have less than 11
I think 10 would be a pretty good year.
Yeah.
I think they could win it. Like, could they win 11 games? Absolutely. But I think 10 would be a pretty good year.
It's gonna be hard to go through that 10-game stretch after Miami and A&M and not drop a game. Like, there's so many opponents in there that are just like preseason looking in, just like,
Yeah.
like they're just meh. That you're like, to me, Notre Dame's bound to drop one just because they're overlooking it.
Yeah.
I think after Notre Dame getting into the group of 5, I think I mean, we don't have to go in depth about these teams, but I think for me, I think the group of top 5 team that has a chance. I mean, obviously Boise State's ranked. I know Smitty will probably talk about it. I think I like JMU, like he does. But I mean, besides those, I mean, you got a Memphis team who shouldn't be bad. Toledo had a good year last year, but obviously Mensa's gone. I think those are like the names that have a chance to sneak into that group of 5 spot. But
Tulane, not Toledo.
Yeah, I meant Tulane.
That's fine. Yeah, I'm kind of in agreement. I mean, group of 5's weird. You're gonna get your one. You're gonna get your one team in this day and age. It's just whoever's the best out of conference champions. To me, the most likely are going to be JMU and Liberty, just because of the way that their schedules line up, and the way that their conferences are played out. Tulane's interesting because they got the Retzlaff kid from BYU, so experienced quarterback, won a lot of games this past year at BYU, knows what he's doing. In a different place now.
I think he's going to have a lot of off the field issues. I mean, dude, he went from BYU to Tulane. I don't know. I don't see it working out too well for the guy.
Yeah, I mean, it's just I like JMU, but like JMU's a team that like I don't think they can drop a game.
Yeah.
I don't.
You got it.
I think the group of 5, especially just with how spread out it is, like it's just, you got JMU in the Sun Belt, you got Liberty in Conference USA, you got Boise State in the Mountain West, and then Tulane in the American. I kind of agree that those are the teams that I'm kind of looking at, and it's just so spread out that I think one of those teams runs the table, and I don't think JMU's schedule playing in the Sun Belt, which is a pretty weak conference, holds up enough if they do drop a game, because I don't think they're going to win a tiebreaker as an 11-1 team over any of those other teams going 11-1.
For me, that's their issue, and that's Liberty's issue. Neither of those two can drop a game and realistically make a playoff over like an 11-1 Tulane out of the American or 11-1 Boise State out of the Mountain West.
Yeah. I mean, those are the 4 that I'm looking at.
Only based on record?
I mean, you have to win your conference. You have to be a conference champion.
If a 12-0 Liberty is a conference champ, and there's an 11-1 Tulane that ends up being a conference champ, does Liberty get that spot?
It's just the committee. It's technically the highest ranked group of 5 champion.
And it would just be
whoever's ranked higher in the CFP. Okay. Yeah.
So like theoretically,
and then I don't know if Liberty gets that grace.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is like I think they got it. I think they got to go 12-0 and just hope that one of the other teams drops a game. I think more like the most likely case is that it ends up being Tulane or Boise State, just because of the conference. It just sets up a little bit better for them to get a little bit of leeway. Not that either of those conferences are strong on the national landscape, but like they're stronger than Conference USA and the Sun Belt.
Yep.
Well, I like the idea of giving one of them a shot. I think I don't know that you're really going to see a team that is better top to bottom from the group of 5, especially with the new era, as good as that Boise State team was last year, just because of the talent that they had at running back.
No.
What are you about to laugh at?
I'm just looking at Timmy. What a dweeb.
Do we want to go ahead and roll into picks here?
We can.
Yeah.
Yes.
0 picks. We got
Okay.
games that we're gonna pick through. Just to wrap up the pod today. We got Iowa State and Kansas State. We'll start with Timmy. That's the Dublin game, week 0. What do you got here for us, Timmy?
I'm going Kansas State just because feel like it.
All right.
It's a cool game. Farmageddon. Not on a farm, but yeah, I'm just gonna go Kansas State because Avery Johnson's cool. I don't know. I could not care less about the Big 12. So
fair enough.
I got Kansas State also. I just trust them more than Iowa State. I'm not as big of a Rocco Beck fan as Ben is, so I'm gonna ride with Kansas State.
Sounds like Ben's taking Iowa State.
Yep, got to.
I'm taking Kansas State, but if you are taking the random point line that's just weirdly at the bottom of the screen during the games, I would take Iowa State. Next game is UNLV and
Idaho State.
Yeah.
You want to just sweep this one across the board?
Yeah, we're all taking
UNLV, right?
the Idaho State logo looks like one of the FCS logos in college football 26. Like,
yeah,
I'm not watching that game. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm looking at the ESPN profile for it right now, and it does not even have a channel going up for TV. So it might
UNLV is like, I think I saw on Twitter the other day. It's like the last chance U of D1 football. They've got Justin Flo and Alex Orji. So
yeah,
Justin, I was pumped when he committed to Oregon, and now he is at his 3rd school, and it's UNLV. So he clearly sucks, but he's jacked. So good for him. He's got something going for him.
Okay, so
next game is Fresno State and Kansas.
Can we just take it's a complete sweep? Can we just take a second just to talk about the logo matchup? That's got to be two of the top 5.
This game is at Kansas, right?
Yes.
The new updated stadium. That'll be cool.
Yeah,
I saw it sold out, so that probably means it's not sold out, but it'll be cool.
Next game, Sam Houston and Western Kentucky. I'm taking Western Kentucky. I'm also projecting the game to have a lot of points.
Okay.
More points than what you would think it would have, is what you're saying? Okay. Yeah, I think I'm going to go the Hilltoppers here too.
Yeah, I like Western Kentucky. I think it'll be close. I kind of agree. I think it'll be high scoring, and I think it'll be close.
I hope they wear the helmets. I hope they wear the helmets with their mascot.
I would say that it will be a single-digit game.
That could be important to some people, Smitty.
Yeah.
Wow.
Last game on the slate, that game out west, Stanford Hawaii game. I think that's an interesting game.
It's a fun one,
I'll also throw this out there. I think there's going to be a lot of points in this game. A lot more than maybe that random number total would say. But I'm taking Hawaii. I think Hawaii pulls it out. Stanford's gonna be terrible. Bottom.
Isn't Andrew Luck on Stanford's staff now? Something.
Yeah, I believe.
Yeah, I hope Hawaii. I hope that they're not going to give Stanford any consent, and I hope they just kill him. I hate Andrew Luck. He opted out of the draft because he didn't want to be a Panther. Well, that's okay because we had Super Bowl participant MVP Cam Newton, and Andrew Luck retired early because his team sucked. So that's what you get for opting out of a draft to avoid a team.
Cam Newton definitely has PTP. So,
well, he didn't retire because his teammates suck.
You think
so I'm going the Rainbow Warriors on
that
this
fumble or what?
Yeah.
What was Tom Brady doing? Getting a divorce.
Ready to win the Super Bowl the next year for
kissing his kids on the lips and getting a divorce.
Yo, don't speak on Giselle, bro. She cheated on him. Come on, bro. Fuck you, Giselle.
Okay, Ben.
Yeah, I'm going Hawaii here too. There's a lot of hype going into the program. Actually, they just recently announced. Hold on, listen. I do my time on Twitter. There's money getting poured in, and they've just announced some stadium renovations. So Hawaii is going to be getting a new stadium probably 2 years from now. I would have to guess. But that brings some. That
will
new
change
level.
absolutely nothing.
It's pride. It's playing for a little bit more than just themselves. They're playing to put the nation on notice, like we deserve this. That's what I think. That's what I would be saying as a coach going into the game is like, hey, you guys want to be the big boys. You want to have a big old stadium here in a couple of years. You got to go to the ACC team.
Hey, that's not bad.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that.
Smitty?
Yeah, I'm taking Stanford.
What a loser.
I disagree. I'm taking Stanford. Crazy thing is, I think Stanford is going to be. I think they'll be decent. I think that they lost Ashton Daniels, the quarterback, who I thought was pretty good last year. I still think they'll be a bottom tier ACC team. I'm not saying. I mean, I think
they're too smart. They're too damn smart. It just doesn't work anymore.
Maybe, but
what?
I can't see them losing to Hawaii. I just don't see that happening.
Hawaii's awesome, dude.
Yeah, but the crazy thing is to me is looking at it and some random website put down that Hawaii would win this game by 2.5 points, and that seems crazy to me. So I think
that's fair. I low key agree with that, but I think Hawaii outright. Well, I'm not outright.
What?
I think Stanford. I just think Stanford. I mean, I just don't buy into I feel like every year, everybody's excited because it's Hawaii and it's cool and they're the Rainbow Warriors and all that stuff. I think Stanford is just even being a bottom tier ACC team should still be able to beat Hawaii.
I think
they should, but they won't.
Just last thing on the Stanford Hawaii game for me, Hawaii at some point this year is going to drop some of the coolest football uniforms that we've ever seen. At some point. They did it for their women's basketball team. They dropped some of the nicest basketball uniforms I've ever seen. They're super sick. There's gonna be a game this year where Hawaii drops a dope uniform and it's gonna sell out in seconds.
Yeah.
And I'll buy it.
I'm still taking Stanford. So
all right. So I think that wraps up our football portion of the show. I know that we wanted to highlight this coming from the Division III ranks. Shout out Jimmy Abdo, Gustavus Adolphus College golfer. He made it to the quarterfinals of the U.S. Amateur Championship this past weekend.
Yeah.
I mean, ton of match play throughout the week, but I mean, just putting on for the D3 fellas on the national stage, playing with some of the big boys, holding his own. I know watching some of the matches, it was kind of sick to see him get fired up after he won a match and hug his boy, who is his caddy, which is fucking sick. His caddy's literally a 20-year-old kid. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah, it's a cool story too because he actually went into the portal and was trying to go somewhere bigger and was talking to some schools, and apparently nobody gave him any interest or anything. And now he goes to pretty much the biggest amateur. I mean, it is the biggest amateur tournament in the world. And ends up not only winning a couple matches, but making it into the top 8. I mean, if you go through and look at the guys who were also in the top 8 with him, it's a 16-year-old who's apparently a golf prodigy that's already committed to Florida State. You have a guy who won the national championship last year. You have, guys that are already playing in college, all this playing in big D1 programs, and then you have this random D3 kid from Minnesota. And it's I think it's pretty cool. It probably changed this guy's life a little bit because now he's he's gonna
get some NIL money somewhere.
Yeah. So now I don't know how old he was. Most of these kids
are going into sophomore year, going into junior year.
So now if he does end up going to the portal and wanting to go somewhere else, I mean, he's gonna get somewhere he could go. So it's just a cool story.
He's second ranked amateur.
Yeah.
He finished
unheard of for
a
guy like that to go and finish,
especially in a sport like golf. Like,
you think he could beat Paul Garcia in his prime?
Oh, that's a good question. I think Paul Garcia is going to give this a listen. I think that's a good debate to have.
We need Mr. Garcia to comment
on the pod.
Just proof that he made it this far, and I want to see his comment.
ECU, Gustavus, I'm going ECU. I might be a little biased, but I'm going ECU.
If I want to have a good time, I'm going to ECU. I'll say that.
I'm going to Gustavus Adolphus.
Timmy, where is Gustavus Adolphus?
It's Minnesota, or not Minnesota.
Wisconsin. Smitty didn't say Minnesota. You would have zero chance to get that.
No, I knew because I saw it on one of the D3 pages on Instagram. Like during the off season, they just post all the D3 teams from each state and how many championships they have. I remember seeing that because they're ranked in baseball usually, and we were just going through.
Yeah, they host a regional.
Yeah, these are cool names. I just want to look up what this name's from. I don't know. I don't remember what the name's from.
That's a good question. What's the Gustavus Adolphus match?
Nobody cares.
Oh no, I care.
Probably Adolf. Say something.
Liberal Arts College.
Yo, while we're on it,
it's Liberal Arts College.
I looked at this says a mascot Gus the Lion.
Yeah, that's what.
Okay.
Does that stand to mean that they're the Lions?
I would assume.
No, they're the Tigers.
No. Read that. Read that out loud.
They're the Gusties.
That's sick. That's awesome.
That's so stupid.
That's stupid.
The Gust. Yo, what's your
change the name
on their jersey? You think it says Gusties? I mean, that's awful. That's so stupid.
That's
no.
awful.
They probably have like the ugliest color jerseys, like Rowan's jerseys, and then it just says like Gustavus or something, like so ugly. It was like Methodist yellow jerseys where I just wanted to
definitely not all black. Definitely not all black with the red lettering and the black cap though.
No, that's tough.
Was Gustavo the name of the Gustavo's? Was that the name of the restaurant in Ratatouille?
I was about to say, yeah, it was Gustavo. It's Gustavo in Ratatouille. It's
a culinary school is what it is.
This episode needs to come to a
Congratulations, Jimmy Abdo.
Yeah, shout out Jimmy Abdo. Put on for the D3 world.
Love it.
Okay. We good?
Yeah, I think we're good.
Okay, so we'll wrap up. Next week we'll break down week 1.
Yeah,
we'll just talk about. There's a ton of big matchups to talk about. So
Oregon, Montana State. Let's go 4:30.
Yeah. Hey, you better watch out, Timmy. That's a national championship runner-up, something that y'all didn't achieve last year. You better watch the fuck out for Montana State.
Honestly, the way Oregon plays week 1, they might lose. They might win by like 1 touchdown, dude. Like they almost lost to Iowa last year.
Balls at QB though.
Yo, someone kill that kid. Shut up.
Okay, that'll wrap it up. That'll be it. See y'all next week.
If you make it to this point in the episode, comment on Instagram. Eric is fat.
Yeah, do that.
Just do that. I just want to see proof.
Okay, see y'all.
All right, see ya.